So, Warjack's Workshop here. Okay, I wanted to actually talk about this one. Now, I actually recently had where someone was actually telling me they couldn't get into Wargaming. Wargaming is too expensive. It's too expensive, and yeah, it's because of the fact that they were pointed towards the freaking annoying poster child that so many are tired of seeing that ripped off so many companies and got away with it, Warhammer 40,000. Now, I actually had where I've played a lot of games, and I told them plain and simple, yeah, you don't need to play Warhammer 40k starting out. If anything, I don't recommend it because they actually keep on doing edition changes, rule changes. I've got like probably 3 or 4 Space Marines codexes, and I got tired of it eventually. Plus, on top of that, sometimes they write out the rules and models. But let's give you alternatives, and that open model game systems. Or as they're calling it lately, miniatures agnostic. Screw that, I'll stick with open model game systems. To me, it's a lot easier for people to say. Although I should be saying that, considering the fact that if I can say supercalifragilisticexpialidocious, I'm old, leave me alone. But let's get into it, shall we, on a selection of games we can actually try on the cheap. So, selection games I actually have right offhand model game systems. Last Days by Ash Barker. Space Station Zero. When Nightmares Comes by Patrick Todoroff. Frostgrave by Joseph McCullough. Death Ship 1 and Arm by Joseph McCullough. And targeted today, Stargrave. Now, the advantage of Stargrave is this. You actually have where Stargrave actually includes multiple ways to play. You can either A, actually do it solo, you can do it B, cooperative, or C, you can do it competitive. And you only need actually 10 models for your crew, plus sometimes additional models like familiars or whatever, but typically it caps out at 10 models per crew. And a handful of enemy models. And this game has where there's several books to it, and each book adds in an actual a new set of crew. It's not just set in stone where you only have the limited amount of soldiers that's actually from this front book. And each one of these books actually adds like 10 missions to it. Now, other advantage to it is not only do you actually have the option to be able to use whatever models, yeah, as long as they actually fit about the same scale. One thing I've been doing lately is you actually have an option that people don't think about. And ironically enough, one of the first actual fights to it involves being in a cantina. This gives you, where we actually open these up, it gives you, we can't open it up fully, but you actually have your 1 inch by 1 inch grid that you would typically need. It's not just for RPG only when you think about it. You've got your rooms for cover, and you can just rotate in between these to help with the missions. So when you actually want to try something on the cheap, here is another option. Or another advantage is being able to use board games that have good models in them. So whenever I actually was saying about using board games, now this one isn't going to give you all 10 models that you actually need for the crew. However, it will actually get you 6 out of 10. This is Zombicide Invader by Guillotine Games. And the advantage of this also, though, is it gives you more than enough enemy models than what you'll need. Because it actually gives you 1 Abomination model. Okay, let's get you off the tripod and get you around here a little better. So you end up having one Abomination model, plus you actually have 14 bigger models, 14 runners, and then you actually have 35 walkers. So this right here alone gives you half the models you need for your crew. Well, in all honesty, it'll get you to 7 because you can actually use the bot as something else. In addition to having this as a game option. Plus, hello, there's another battlefield. So, if you want to go cheap, you can actually either A, use tokens and pawns with the flip mats, or B, you can invest in a board game, pick up one of the open model game systems like Stargrave, and there you go. Y'all have a good one.